The age-old battle between cats and dogs is one that has raged on for generations, and it's not uncommon to witness heated battles between these two species. While dogs may have strength and size on their side, cats have cunning and agility, and they often work together to fend off and defeat dogs, which is exactly what we're about to see in this video. Let's go! 4 cats were minding their own business when a much bigger dog started harassing them here. The fearless cats weren't going to let the canine bully them around though, and they banded together and launched an attack on their unsuspecting opponent. The angry cat surrounded the dog and started attacking it from every angle, and overwhelmed by the ferocity of the feline attack, the terrified dog tried to flee, but the cats were relentless. They chased it and kept scratching and biting it to teach it a lesson, and instead of bullying them, the dog ended up getting bullied by them. The 4 cats, victorious and unscathed, proved that even the smallest animals could stand up to bullies and come out on top. In a quiet park, a blind man walked alongside his loyal guide dog, both enjoying the serene atmosphere. Suddenly, out of nowhere, more than 10 feral cats approached out of the bushes, staring intently at the dog. The poor dog, sensing danger, tried to protect its owner, but the cats were relentless in their attack. The man, unaware of the situation, was helpless to do anything but listen in horror to the sounds of his dog whimpering and yelping in pain. The cats, unfazed by the man's presence, continued their assault, biting and clawing at the dog's fur. The guide dog, once brave and confident, was now cowering and defeated under the weight of the relentless attack. The blind man was left in utter shock and despair as he listened to his guide dog's painful cries, but there was nothing that he could do to protect it. A very similar thing happened here. These 2 orange cats collided with a dog on the street, and things got heated very quickly. Though the dog did not appear to be menacing, the felines felt threatened by it and decided to attack it. The dog tried to defend itself, but the cats were quick, nimble, and determined. They circled the dog and clawed at it from all angles, not giving it a moment to breathe. The dog didn't want any trouble and it decided to retreat, but the 2 cats followed slowly behind to make sure that it wasn't going to come back. It was a stunning display of feline bravery and teamwork, and the dog was lucky to escape with just a few scratches. In a chaotic scene, a dog found itself surrounded by cats from every side. The anxious dog whimpered and growled, trying to find a way out of the feline ambush. The cats, undeterred by the dog's hostile attitude, closed in on it, their eyes fixated on their opponent. It was clear that the dog was overwhelmed by the sheer number of cats that had gathered around it. As the tension rose, the dog made a run for it, bolting away from the throng of cats. The felines watched it go, their mission accomplished, as they claimed victory over the intimidated canine. A small dog was innocently strolling along when it suddenly found itself surrounded by 3 cats here. The poor dog was visibly anxious and unsure of what to do. It wasn't trying to pick a fight with the cats or even looking their way, but the cats seemed to be intimidated by its presence and decided to attack it. The cats swarmed the dog from all sides, but their sharp claws and teeth making the dog yelp in pain. The dog tried to run away, but the cats were quick to follow, continuing their assault. In the end, the poor dog had no choice but to run away, tail between its legs. It was clear that the dog was no match for the aggressive felines, and it had to retreat to safety before it got seriously harmed. It was a beautiful day outside, and this dog was planning on enjoying it with its owners in the park. They were surrounded by a group of cats, but none of them were being hostile at first. Suddenly, without warning, one of the cats launched itself at the unsuspecting dog, startling everyone. As if on cue, the rest of the cats started to join in, yowling and clawing at the dog. The dog, taken aback by the sudden attack, didn't know what to do, and the cats kept attacking it, convinced that it was trying to harm them. The dog, startled and overwhelmed, wanted to run away, but it didn't want to leave its owner's side. The cats seemed to have realized that the dog wasn't trying to harm them in the end, and unsure of what to do next, scampered off in different directions. In a quiet alleyway, a small cat suddenly found itself surrounded by a pack of 7 dogs. The dogs were barking and growling, and the poor cat had nowhere to run. They were about to attack when suddenly, out of nowhere, another cat appeared on the scene and jumped on one of them and took it down. This cat was much braver than the first one, and it had a fierce look in its eyes. The dogs didn't know what to make of it at first, but they soon realized that this was not a cat to mess with. The second cat stood its ground and hissed at the dogs, making it clear that it was not afraid. The dogs hesitated for a moment, but then they started to advance towards the fearless cat. The cat didn't back down, and it charged at the dogs with such ferocity that they all ran away in fear. The small cat was saved, and it watched as the dogs retreated with their tails between their legs. On a quiet night, this small cat found itself surrounded by 4 intimidating dogs who were clearly out to get it. The feline's heart raced as the dogs closed in on it, barking aggressively. The cat had no chance against these powerful canines and knew it needed to act quickly if it wanted to survive. But just at the right moment, another cat appeared out of nowhere and charged at the dogs with ferocity. The brave cat held the dogs for long enough to allow the other cat to escape, and it never allowed the vicious dogs to harm either of them. And, having done its duty, the brave cat turned and ran, narrowly escaping the angry dog's jaws. What a brave little creature! A tiny kitten found itself cornered by a vicious pack of stray dogs that were determined to tear it apart here. With no one around to help it, the kitten valiantly tried to defend itself against the relentless attackers, but it was clear that things were not looking too good for the brave feline. But just when it seemed like all hope was lost, out of nowhere, the kitten's mother came charging to the rescue. Despite being outnumbered and outmatched, the mother cat refused to back down. Her fierce determination and unbreakable spirit sent a clear message to the canines: lay off and get out. The dogs were no match for the fearless feline, and they knew it, and they ended up leaving with their tails between their legs. This cat found itself cornered by 2 menacing dogs, but the fearless feline refused to back down. The dogs, taken aback by the cat's ferocity, hesitated to attack, but the cat was not giving up. It lunged forward, trying to slash and claw at the dogs with incredible speed and agility. Despite being outnumbered and outmatched, the cat continued to hold its ground, unwilling to let the dogs intimidate it. Its piercing eyes glinted with a fiery determination, and it seemed as if nothing could stop it. The standoff lasted for what felt like an eternity until a kind-hearted passerby intervened and separated the animals. The cat, victorious in the battle, emerged unscathed, proud, and triumphant.
Did you enjoy this video? Please let us know in the comments section down below. And don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. And please turn on your notification bell to get notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.